What got me into art in the first place goes back to childhood. I actually, behind me, have a very old, kind of crusty manila envelope that has a book that I wrote and illustrated and submitted to Reading Rainbow when I was 7. And I like to keep that in here as a reminder of where I came from and where I started. And whenever I'm feeling low or discouraged in being an artist, it's just a reminder of, you did this for that girl and that version of yourself, and you made your dreams come true. So it started at a very young age. I want my art to be accessible, welcoming, and easy to understand. My background is in education, so I taught high school for a number of years. I learned very quickly that art historically has been reserved for a certain class of people, a certain demographic of people. And being a biracial person myself, I've made it my goal to create artwork that I wish I could have seen when I was growing up. Ultimately, I think there's something really beautiful to be said about any person, regardless of their background or their age, being able to walk into a space and see my work and be able to garner some sort of connection or experience from it. I always like to find just things in my everyday life that I think stand out to me, that I think would be enjoyable to look at. And one day I was walking through Harrisburg, where I live, and I saw these two buildings that just looked friendly, as if they were communicating with one another. And I thought it'd be fun and endearing to represent those two buildings in a way where I actually placed two characters communicating among those buildings to almost give that scene a new life. So I made that, I think, in February of 2020, and I submitted it to the Berg, and it was published as their cover in March of 2020, and it ended up being a weird way of representing social distancing, which wasn't my intention at all. So the fact that it came out during that time frame, I think, was interesting. I love when people come in and they can make their own connections. It's the whole intention, right? This piece is a representation of my heritage. So my mom is an immigrant from South Korea, and my dad was born in the States on a cattle farm in Western Maryland. And I've grown up with this weird dichotomy my whole life, and feeling like I've had one foot in one world and one foot in another. A lot of my work in this print included revolve around that. I've spent some time in Seoul. I did my student teaching there, and I thought that it was so interesting that this incredible boom of urbanization was existing amongst this landscape and backdrop of very deep-rooted Korean tradition. So this piece represents that, which I think in turn kind of represents me. So I decided to represent Korean culture with the traditional hanbok and the architecture, with just the vast skyscrapers in the background. Oil painting, I think, is something that involves a lot of time and brain power and meditation. And if I'm ever using that medium, it's because I'm trying to really reflect on a certain idea or a theme. And my identity being the first mixed person in both lines of my family, I think, has been very prevalent in my artwork and something that I think about a lot. Taking this very complex and deep idea and kind of reducing it down to a very simple concept of the traditional gown with American Converse sneakers, but in a traditional art form like an oil painting, classic portraiture, drapery, human form. I think spending those hours and hours painting that just helped me focus and work through this one aspect of my life.
This video was produced for Mosaic by WITF. To help support this project, please visit witf.org/mosaic.